Hello Aquarius, Sun, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Aquarius, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking each other's direction and are moving forward. So with all that being said, Aquarius, let's get started. How does Aquarius currently view this relationship? Okay. We have the King of Wands. We got the Knight of Pentacles. And then we also have the Six of Cups out here. Okay. I do see a soulmate connection, in your life currently at the moment. So there's somebody here that you find yourself connecting with that you feel very strong, intense soul type connection to. But with the Knight of Pentacles coming out here, that's kind of telling me that you're proceeding forward in this relationship with a whole lot of caution. Let's look at that Knight of Pentacles a little bit more. Tell me more about the Knight of Pentacles for Aquarius. Okay, so we have the Seven of Cups. We do have the Ten of Wands. And then we also have the Lovers out here. Okay. Yeah, this connection between you and this person, Aquarius, that you currently find yourself connecting with, it is very, very overwhelming for you from the looks of it. It's very, very overwhelming. And I feel like it has a lot to do with the intensity of the connection. It's just very, very strong and super intense. And I do feel like that really, really does, overwhelm you as well as scare you at the same exact time. But despite the fact that it may scare you and overwhelm you, despite the fact that it's super intense between you and this person, you're very determined to see this entire situation through and see where life could potentially take the both of you. Okay, fair enough. Let's look at this person. How does this person currently view this relationship with Aquarius, Sun, Rising, and Venus? We have the Ace of Cups. We got the Wheel of Fortune. And then we also have the Page of Wands out here. You guys are very, very different when it comes down to that. You come off to me as somebody who doesn't really trust people that easily. I mean, like, it takes time, right, for you to trust a person. It takes time for you to be vulnerable with a person. It takes time for you to lower your guard down with a person. Them, on the other hand, quite the opposite. It doesn't take them too long to trust a person. It doesn't take them too long to lower their guard down with a person. It just doesn't. So that's like the huge difference, I would say, between you and this person. But, this individual, they're very excited when it comes down to like what the future has in store for the both of you. They feel like this relationship between the two of you is definitely, going places. So I think it's safe to say that, you find yourself connecting with somebody who, really wants to, be with you and build with you and see where life could possibly take the both of you. But yeah, that's the big difference, I would say, between you and this person. I feel like you've experienced more trauma than them. Yeah, I feel like you've experienced more trauma, than them. And I keep getting that this person trusts people very, very easily, something that you clearly do not do. You don't trust people that easily. But I feel like it has a lot to do with, just the things that you've been through in life. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just think that you've been through more trauma than them. Yeah. Okay. How does Aquarius currently feel? Yeah, it's understandable. All right, we have the High Priestess. We do have the Ace. We're going to look into this a little bit more because I just kind of feel like you're very, very like suspicious, of this person. It's like you're trying to figure out like, why is this person in my life? And why does this person want to be with me? And why do they want to build with me? Like, I just want to know, I feel like you have a lot of questions when it comes onto this person and why this connection's even in your life to basically begin with. But, with the Seven of Wands coming out here, because there's that level of the unknown wrapped up in all of this, as far as you not knowing why this person's in your life and what's the purpose behind it and the meaning behind it. It does cause you to feel extremely, guarded, because at the end of the day, you know, you don't know why this person's here. You don't really know their true intentions. And you're not the type of person that's just going to go based off of what somebody tells you. You see what I mean? And that has a lot to do with just past traumas that you've experienced with other people. You know, maybe, you know, you've dealt with a lot of liars, so therefore you question every little thing, you know what I mean, that comes out of this person's mouth. Completely understandable as to why it would even be that way for you, as far as like questioning everything is concerned. I just feel like you just don't put anything past absolutely anybody, you know, which I get it, you know, I get it. I get it. Let's jump back over to them, though. How does this person currently feel? Okay. Yeah, they're like a very like they're so different from you. It's kind of what I'm getting. It's like the more we look into them, I'm just like, yeah, you guys are very, very different. Yeah, very different. We got the Page of Pentacles, though. We got the Eight of Wands, and then we also have the Ten of Swords for them. You know, this person kind of has the mentality of, you know, whatever happens, happens. You know, if it works out, then it does. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. I'm going to be okay. You know what I mean? I will live to see another day, you know? But as far as like them, you know, being in this constant state of fear and this whole like, but what if this happens and what if that happens? It's just not something that this person typically does. You know what I mean? This is that person that just, you know, takes chances on people. And if it works out, then it does. If it doesn't, then, you know, it doesn't. Are they afraid that, you know, things are not going to work out between you and them and all this is going to blow up in their face one day? Absolutely. But, you know, their whole mentality is, if that does occur, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But I'm not going to worry myself to death now over something that may not even happen. So I think that this is someone, you know, Aquarius, that yes, you could learn a lot from, but I also feel like this person could learn a lot from you as well, because I can't emphasize this enough. Like, and I think that it has a lot to do with the fact that you've experienced more trauma than them. You may even have more life experience than them. So, you know, as far as them turning around and trusting people easily, that's just something that you just don't do, because in all actuality, you can't just be out here, you know, just trusting everybody either. You see what I mean? And I think that that's something that this person could definitely learn from you, that not everybody is to be trusted. But I think that as far as you learning from them is concerned, you know, I feel like it has a lot to do with, you know, you just learning to take chances, you know, on people. And even though that's a hard and challenging thing for you to do, it's something that, you know, when it comes on to love, you're just going to have to learn how to do, Aquarius, because love is truly a gamble, you know. But you know, roll the dice either which way, because you never know what you're going to get. You see what I mean? Another thing that I feel like you're going to learn from this person is not obsessing over the, but what if this happens and what if that happens? And I think that that's something that you could definitely learn a lot from this person, as far as like learning to remain in the present moment and not being so worried about the future. And the, but what if this, and you know, what if that? Because we tend to get that a lot for you. I've noticed, Aquarius, the what if this and what if that, we tend to get that a lot. Yeah, with you. But yeah, what else? What else? I feel like there's a lot of things that you guys have in common, but there's a lot of things that you guys don't have in common, you know, with one another. But I feel like the two of you are going to definitely learn a whole lot from one another. I am getting that. All right, what actions will Aquarius take towards this person or moving forward? We are going to look, Aquarius, into this person's intentions towards you, because that is obviously a concern that you have, is, you know, what are their intentions towards me? Why are they here? What's the purpose of it all, you know? So we're going to look into that, of course, but we do have the World to the Queen of Swords to the Lovers coming out here. The fact that you have the Queen of Swords to the World coming out here, that's just acting as a double confirmation, but also reiterating what I just said. This connection between you and this person is definitely going to teach you a whole lot, and it's going to change a lot of things, you know, for you. Like, for example, you know, you constantly worrying yourself about the future, and but what if this happens and what if that happens? You're going to learn to not continue to be that way anymore. You're going to learn to just live in the present moment, and if in the event something does go south, you'll handle it, you know, if in the event ever does happen. But to sit here and worry about the what if this and what if that, that's something that's definitely going to change. You're going to learn to not continue to basically be that way, because it doesn't really serve you if you think about it. Because the things that I feel like we tend to worry about, as humans, normally doesn't ever come to pass. You know what I mean? Sometimes it does, and it's very rare that it does, and most of the time it just doesn't. I think that this connection is going to, like, reveal that to you, that yes, you can sit here and worry about the what if this and what if that, all day long if you want to, but the things that you're gonna find yourself, I guess, worried about when it comes onto this connection, as well as this person, time will essentially reveal to you that, for one, you don't have anything to worry about, and, well, for two, you're wasting your time worrying yourself to death over the but what if this and what if that, because the things that you're going to be worried and concerned about, and it's going to be different for everybody, is not going to come to pass. And I think that this connection will essentially, reveal that to you. As far as this whole you finding it very difficult to trust people, I do feel like this person will definitely gain your trust. I am definitely getting that. So you will definitely learn to trust a person again, because of this connection here between you and this person. So I think it's safe to say that you're dealing with a very, very trustworthy person. Just based off of what I'm seeing here, it kind of looks like this connection was set into your life to drastically change your life in a very positive way, not in a negative way, in a very positive way. The fact that you find it hard to trust people may have caused you to miss out on really good opportunities, for yourself when it comes down to love. Maybe you always shied away from love because it's so hard for you to trust a person. Well, we don't see that happening anymore. And the constant, what if this happens? What if that happens? That's something that's going to essentially come to an end. You're going to learn to live in the present moment and not worry yourself to death over the, but what if this and what if that? When a problem does show up, you'll handle it right then and there, but you're not going to, like, worry yourself to death over things that may not even come into fruition. So, then there's that. I also feel like this connection is going to help you with, like, your fear of intimacy, because it's not easy for you to let a person in. So this connection is, for the most part, bringing a lot of healing into your life. It's going to, heal you from a lot of things, Aquarius, when it comes down to, like, your past traumas, your trust issues, your, huge fear of intimacy. It's going to heal you from a lot of things, and it's going to change your life in a very, very positive way. Very positive way. I also feel like it's going to highlight to you and reveal to you that true love truly does exist out there. I just feel like you haven't really experienced that. You know what I mean? Just yet. All right, what actions will this person take towards Aquarius or moving forward? Okay, so we do have the Two of Pentacles to the Four of Swords, and then we also have the Page of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Seven of Swords to the Six of Wands, and then we also have the Two of Cups, and then we also have the Emperor to the Ace of Wands. This is a very random download. It's very random, but I'm just going to turn around and say it anyways. How do I explain what this person's going to find themselves doing in this connection with you? I just feel like this person's very proud. Yeah, I just feel like this person's very proud of landing someone like you. Like, they're very, very proud is basically what I'm getting. In other words, this person didn't necessarily think that they could ever, like, be able to land someone like you. This person just looks at you like you're perfect, like you're everything that any man or woman would essentially want, to have by their side. So they're very proud, very, very proud of you, and what they have by their side. That's not the problem, though. How do I explain what they're doing? This person, and it's something that you just may notice, along your journey with them, but this person may, like, avoid, like, bringing certain people around you, like certain family members, for example, or possibly even, friends, for very unfortunate reasons. Because now I'm, like, over here questioning, like, why does this person even, like, associate with these people? But I feel like this person has people in their life that would go as far as to, like, try to take you away from them is basically what I'm getting. Now, as to why they continue to be friends with these humans, I don't know. But I am getting that this person's going to like avoid bringing you around certain people, but it's kind of stemming from a place of like, how do I say this? It's kind of stemming from a place of them not wanting like people to like, you know, take you, I guess, away from them. And I'm getting people. So it's not just one person that they're worried and concerned might try to like turn around and take you away from them. Like I'm getting more than one person. I'm getting people. So this, I'm sorry, but this person might have certain family members, you know what I mean, that will go as far as to like try to like get with you, you know what I mean, despite the fact that they're family, or they might have certain friends that might try to get with you despite the fact that they're friends. You see what I mean? If this person had the ability, if this person had the ability to like keep you in a box to the point where no one else, can see you, speak to you, be around you, oh my gosh, they would do it in a heartbeat. They would do it in a heartbeat. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. They're just very proud. Very, very proud. I'm also getting like a bragging energy. Like, yeah, Aquarius does this for me and Aquarius does that. And oh, Aquarius, like, they're, they have a really good career. They're successful. They got this, they got that. Like, I'm just getting like a bragging energy coming from this person, which is not necessarily a bad thing. They're just very proud. They're proud, you know what I mean? They didn't think that they would ever be able to land somebody like you. I keep getting that. This person does perceive you as somebody who is 10 times better than them. They're not insecure about it or anything like that, that you're 10 times better than them. They're not insecure about it. Because some people, like, when they get involved with somebody who's like 10 times better than them, they can get like really insecure. But I'm not getting that this person's like insecure that you're better than them, that you're more successful than them, you're more, I don't know, maybe attracted than them, whatever the case may be. But no, I'm not getting that this person's insecure about that. If anything, they're proud. You know what I mean? Like that they're proud. But this whole, like, if they could keep you in a box to the point where nobody can, see you or speak to you, oh my God, that would be great. That would be a blessing for this one over here. It's like they just don't want anybody to see you or speak to you or be around you. You know what I mean? I am getting that, but they understand that that's remotely impossible. You know what I mean? But if this was like Burger King have it their way, oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if they could just keep you in a box, you know what I mean, to the point where nobody sees you or speaks to you, like they would do that in a heartbeat, They would definitely do that in a heartbeat, my friend. They're just proud. They're super proud of you. And the fact that they were able to land someone like you, kind of has them walking around, with a limp, if you know what I mean. Yeah, this person speaks very, very highly of you to like close family members and close friends. I am definitely getting that. They speak very, very highly of you. But yeah, this whole like them wanting to keep you away from certain people, I just feel like it's with people that they know will try to like hit on you and take you away from them. And again, as to why they're even friends with these individuals, beyond me. Why would you even have like a friend like that around you, or even like a family member like that around you? But I mean, it is what it is. It is their life. You know what I mean? Other than that, though, Aquarius, I mean, this person, they mean well from the looks of it. They do mean well. I will say that. The only thing that I would consider to be a red flag is the fact that they continue to show up as a page over and over again. I mean, that's the only red flag that I'm really getting here off of this person. I think that when it comes down to like, for example, like managing their finances. I mean, they ain't the best at it as far as managing their finances are concerned. I think that this person does make, unfortunately, a lot of poor financial decisions. I think that this person starts a lot of things and they don't finish it, with the Page of Wands coming out here. So for example, like this person might randomly decide one day, you know what, I'm gonna go back to school. And then they go back to school and they don't finish, you know. Another thing too, the fact that they're coming across as a Page of Swords, as far as communication is concerned, that may not be the best either, you know. Like for example, if there was like a moment of adversity that, you know, has showed up in this relationship, you could have already noticed that from them, as far as like them not being the best at, you know, communicating things to you effectively. Or you might notice that in the near future, or just in the future in general, that, you know, as far as communication is concerned, they're not the best. They're not the best. That's the only, I would say those are like the only red flags that I'm kind of seeing here. I think that you are more mature than them. I think that you are more responsible than them. I think that you're a better communicator than they are. I think that you're somebody who knows how to solve problems, unlike them. Because when a problem shows up, it's like they freeze. Oh, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? You, on the other hand, like you're very quick to come up with, like, you know, a solution. Them, it's like, nah, not so much. It's like when a problem shows up, they just freeze. What am I gonna do? You know what I mean? Pages are people who are known for being very codependent. That's another thing, Aquarius, you know. So I do feel like this person, you know, in some way, shape, or form is very codependent off of you. So they like rely on you for certain things. Yeah, they're gonna find themselves relying on you for like certain things. But other than that, I mean, your biggest concern is, you know, why they're here, which I already revealed to you, that this relationship is going to bring a lot of healing. It's going to help you overcome, you know, things that you've been having a very difficult time overcoming, like your fear of intimacy, your trust issues, you know, making peace with the past, things of that nature. But as far as like why they're here, like what's the point? Like, well, it looks like this person's here because they want to build with you and establish and create a life with you. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm not getting anything bad off of this person. You know, this person comes off to me as somebody who would literally do anything for you. I'm also getting that, which I think is super nice and super sweet. I'm just again, as far as like the negative aspect to all of this, I mean, I've already kind of shared that with you, as far as like the fact that they're coming across as a Page. I don't know if this person's younger than you or what the case may be. I mean, it could be younger than you. And if they are the same age as you, you're just, like I said, dude, you're just far more mature. I mean, they could even be older than you, but you're still far more mature than them. I guess the only downside has a lot to do with what I mentioned, as far as like them starting things and not finishing it, them making poor financial decisions, them being not, you know, them just simply not being the best at communicating. What else? I'm trying to think any else negative, I guess, about this person that you should be, I guess, worried about or something like that. What else can you tell me about this person that Aquarius is connecting with? Okay, so I am definitely getting something else too, because that was just about to come to my head, but let's do that. Let's talk about that. I do feel like in previous relationships, this person was always left to essentially feel like they're not good enough. And it has a lot to do with the fact that they're coming across as a Page, okay? Am I worried about it? I'm gonna be real with you, Aquarius. I think that you're gonna obviously see this side to this person. I mean, there's no avoiding this. You're gonna see how immature they could be at times. You're gonna see that they make poor financial decisions at times. You're gonna see that they're not the best communicator at times. You're gonna see that when a moment of adversity does show up, you know, this is not a problem solver that we're looking at here. You know, this is that type of person, when a problem shows up, they freeze. They're like, what do I do? You know what I mean? Aquarius, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? You, on the other hand, you're not like that. Anyways, These are things that you're going to see for yourself. And I don't think that you're going to personally like that. I'm going to be real with you. I don't think that you're going to personally like the fact that this person is not the best at communicating. I don't think that you're going to like the fact that this person makes poor financial decisions, especially if we're talking long term here, to the point where y'all are thinking of marriage and stuff like that. Like, or even just in general, building a life with someone. That, I mean, these are things to obviously take into consideration, because you don't want to, make any major life decisions with somebody who makes a lot of poor financial decisions. But here's one thing that I will say: just like this connection is going to help you out with a lot of things, you're going to help them out with a lot of things. And one thing that you're going to help this person out with is growing up. And that's as blunt as I could be about it. This person is definitely going to grow up a whole lot. Like, they're going to get better at communicating. They're going to get better at making, better, like, financial decisions. For example, when this person starts something, they're going to, be the type to basically finish it, because your way of being is going to naturally rub off on them. So when you start something, you always finish it. As far as like communication is concerned, that's definitely going to improve over time. There's a lot of things that are going to improve. This person will eventually become the man or the woman that you essentially need them to essentially be and have, by your side. It's just going to take time. That's one thing that I will say. It's going to take time. And when I say time, I mean years. I'm not talking about a few like days, weeks, or months, because it takes time to reach King of Pentacles status. It takes a whole lot of time. But if it's one thing that I will say, is that this person will definitely grow and evolve as an individual, having someone like you by their side, and you will overcome a lot of, trauma having this person in particular by your side. You're going to overcome a lot of things. So this relationship is very beneficial basically to the both of you, because you're getting something out of this and so are they. This connection is just going to help the two of you become the best versions of yourselves that you could possibly be, to be honest. So you're going to learn a lot from them. They're going to learn a lot from you. With the Hierophant of the High Priestess coming out here, yeah, there is a huge possibility that marriage could come out of this entire situation. My biggest thing with you, Aquarius, is that as far as like, marriage is concerned, not telling you how to live your life. I'm just trying to look out for you, okay? I think that when it comes down to making major life decisions with this person, like starting a family, getting married to them, purchasing property with them, these are things that you should really hold off on doing until, this person has definitely grown and evolved as an individual, because it is not a good idea to go off and make major life decisions, with this person when they're making poor financial decisions. They're not the best at solving problems. They start things and they don't finish it. Like, I don't think that it's a good idea. I think that these are things that you should avoid for now until this person grows and evolves as an individual, which they will, because it's showing up in their energy that they will in time. But I feel like in the meantime, definitely avoid making major life decisions with this person until you see for yourself, like, okay, like they're making, better financial decisions. They're taking, their education seriously. They're taking their career seriously, their business seriously. They're getting better at like communicating with me. Like, you're going to have to utilize a lot of patience with this person, and they're going to have to utilize a lot of patience with you. It goes hand in hand, because they're going to have to deal with like your past traumas and things like that. And they're going to have to utilize a lot of patience with you, as well as give you grace along the way. And when it comes down to like their immature ways, as far as like possibly being like emotionally mature, and when it comes down to like, their financial situation, a lot of poor financial decisions this one makes a lot. So these are just things that I think that you should avoid for now, as far as, making major life decisions with this person is concerned. You're going to know when the timing is essentially right to take that next step, as far as getting married, getting property, starting a family. Like, you're going to know when the time comes. But in the meantime, I highly advise that you avoid making major life decisions, with this person, because you got to understand they're showing up as a page. So for example, if you were to go off and start a family with this person, this is that type of person that's going to get easily, overwhelmed by like a newborn, like, oh my God, like, oh my God, this is so much. You know what I mean? They're just not mature enough to handle that amount of responsibility. Pages are people that don't really have responsibilities like that. You know what I mean? And when they do get like a big responsibility like that, like as far as caring for a child, that's a lot. That will be a lot for this person to handle. This is why I'm saying avoid doing those things with this person until they grow and mature as an individual, because starting a family with this person at this stage that they're at in their life is just, it's a recipe for a disaster. Like, this is that type of person that if you guys were to ever start a family, especially at the stage that they're at, they're going to get overwhelmed. You know, um, life is not about them anymore. You know what I mean? And they're going to get overwhelmed by it, and potentially even resentful, and things of that nature. So just hold off on making major life decisions in the meantime. Once all right, it's time. You know what I mean? Then go for it. But don't. I mean, I'm not even worried about you. I don't even know why I keep telling you don't do this, don't do that, because you're a very cautious individual. You're a very smart individual. So I think you got this. I'm not really worried and concerned about you. I don't even know why I was like, don't do this because X, Y, and Z. Like, these are things that you're going to discover on your own about this person, and you will avoid, making certain major life decisions with this person. And it's not because you don't want those things with them. It's because you're going to start to realize for yourself, like, okay, they're not ready for this. They're not ready for that. Let me not do this with them. Let me not do that with them, because they can't handle this type of responsibility. They can't handle that type of responsibility. So you're good. Like, I'm not really worried about you. I think that you got your back, like no other. So you're good. But as far as their intentions towards you, nothing but good intentions. Nothing but good intentions. But I am definitely getting that, prior to you, they've dealt with a lot of people who made them feel like they weren't good enough. And I feel like there's going to come a point in time in this relationship where you might make this person feel this way because of the things that you're going to start to notice about them. And I think that, because they really do want you in this dynamic that they share with you to work, it's going to force them to basically grow up and mature and be the man or the woman that you basically need them to be. Because with everybody else, it was like whatever. Oh, you don't like the fact that I'm like this? Oh, you don't like the fact that I'm not like that? Oh, well, too bad. You know what I mean? They're not going to be that way with you. So that's what I have for you, my friend. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see